Seniac, all the traffic issues are over. Seniac, 20 minutes later. Roundabouts! Seniac, I am not going to focus on traffic and do more expansions. Also Seniac, 50 minutes episode fixing traffic! The residents. Seniac, that cliff edge looks terrible. Seniac, that's a cool little feature. Seniac, what about the Metropolitan Hospital in Veganville? The Karens, yay! More managers to call. Seniac, bam! Me, Ralph Copter! Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Fool's Kingdom here in City Skylines, where today we're going to be taking a look at finally the Transport Island. Yes, guys, it's been how long until I brought it up, built toll booths, and said we'll come back and kind of create something? Well, today is that day. And what we're going to do is we're going to first initially use it as a big interchange. The whole purpose of our Transport Island is to be a big interchange between some of the many transportation lines that are going to pass on through it. And in today's episode, we're going to focus on the ferry lines. Now, currently, if we get out of this mode, boom, we have ferry lines going from, hang on, let me get my bearings. Hold on. So here's the Transport Island right now. We have ferry lines coming from Veganville, tooting all the way up. They go in many directions. They either go straight over to here, to Fool's Kingdom. They either skedaddle all the way down to the fishing industry, all the way down here to Fool's Kingdom. They even go all the way as far as Oil Town right now. And I could be wrong. No, I'm not. We also have some going to South Fool as well. Well, for some of these lines, we're going to make them pass through the Transport Kingdom here. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to start with the ferry lines. And we'll kind of create this little bay area here with about 3 or 4 ferry depot things. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. And we'll make the ferry line from Veganville go to here. Then we'll make the line from the Fool's Kingdom go to here. The line over here go to here. And the line from Fishtown also go to there. So if you want to get to somewhere via ferry, you got to all travel to the Transport Kingdom and then change line to go in that direction. It will, minimize how long the journey it takes per ferry line, not the line in total. So rather than getting from here, which they get on from there, and then skedaddling all the way up, you're just going to sail over to there, change, then sail again. So it's technically shorter lines, but it's not shorter lines, so that makes sense. This is the whole purpose of the Transport Kingdom. We'll first start with ferries and boats, and you never know, it could progress to buses, to trains, to monorails, to planes. Who knows? The world is our oyster. So what I want you guys to do in the comment section down below is give me a name suggestion for our Transport Kingdom. Now, we're going to first set it all up then by building the boats. Where's the boats? Boats. There we go. And we need our Ferry Pier. Now, I'm going to go for this one with the big double on. And I think, you know what we should actually do is reclaim a little bit of land to kind of make it a little bit more smoother. So we can get like a straight edged piece. Or maybe we can key wall it. That sounded delicious. I don't know what's wrong with me today, guys. I legit do not know what's wrong with me. So if I base it off, say, this here. Right, let me key this. So I want to get like we'll go 25 and then we'll go 45 straight there. I don't know why I based it off that, but you get the gist of it. So 45. If I do another 15, then that's a distance of 60. Crack-a-lacking right there. So distance of 60 pushing all the way down. Now if I go to, let's say, here by 15, I can then, hopefully, 9 by 9 on the old bend there, boys. And lead us down to here. And then where it takes us in the future, who knows? Who legit knows? So if I do a 20 by 20, and then if I can find a nice little section, let's say we run down to there, I get a nice little section that runs along here, bend that down to there, so a 10 by 10, and wha-bam! We have these flat levels kind of semi-set up. We do have to kind of make it all the same level. So we'll get the tool here. Deselect roads on it. And select all of it. It includes trees. I know. And do it to the object height of, let's say, this one here. So they're now all the same size, give or take. We'll use the... I wouldn't say the flattening tool. We'll use the smoothing tool here. Because I still want the gradient on this. I still want to have that gradient of the land changing. Yeah, but I think on this bit, I'll pull it back a bit. We'll create like a little indentation just here. And then smoothing all that bit out there. There we go. So we at least still get a little bit of character. It doesn't look like much, but when you kind of place buildings and roads down, some of them will be slightly elevated above others. You know, it will eventually look good. But the main purpose is right now, we got this whole straight section here. So what I can do is drop 1. And if I do 2, 3, 4, and we'll stick with 4. We'll stick with 4. We'll use a touch it mod to now untouch all of these. And then we'll delete all the roads. So we got to do this methodically right now. So if I bring that road down to here, right, because I also want to create a couple of transport hubs over here. Now, there's a couple of variations that I can choose from when you think of it, because I've also got to think of where we're going to progress with this in the future. We have the bus metro. I don't think we're going to bring metro over here. I don't think we will. It just kind of seems a little bit like no. But then we could have that potential. But this hub doesn't bring intercity buses through here. This one brings intercity buses. But then what's stopping me from having them, you know, connect either side? What's gone on with this? Why is this up here? Has this road anarchy thing like changed or updated? Elevation slope? It's gone all weird, hasn't it? It really has. Right, if I bring this up by 20 and then go back to these, because I could have the intercity bus one here. Right, but again, it's like one of those things, it still brings in, it still has all the bus stuff where I can use the metro one. We have then the metro intercity, oh wait, the metro intercity bus hub. That's what I want, isn't it? There's all that moaning I was just doing. And wabam, we figured it out. So it has the metro line on it. Has a metro line where we can pick people up from. We have this little bit of a space over here too. Has the bus line there so we can bring intercity buses and then maybe use buses coming from far and wide to kind of meet up to here. You know, because it's close near these ferry lines, it becomes this big beautiful interchange for passengers. It's just awkward to the highest extent, but this is what this transport island is pretty much all about. Now we also have the ferry bus exchange, but I don't want to do that because I want them to walk to and from, which is perfectly fine for us. And there really isn't any other thing I can kind of throw down there. There's a bit of space there. Maybe I could like add in like a multiple end platform like this one, like here. Because it also incorporates its own subway line and then have trains just disappear underground or whatever it may be in their various ways and locations. That's also an option, but I think for now, we'll just kind of keep it pretty simple. Now, I want to connect these guys up around this road because that will be a nice little feature of this whole little area. So if I went by... Okay, so if I go... Well, I'll extend it down a bit more first. To there. And I'm not really going to follow the bend. If I do a 10 by 10 there, which leads to a 5 by 5 there, but I don't really like that. So then if I went for a 16 by 15, that's not too bad. We'll go with that. So it doesn't quite follow the terrain or the edge of the quay wall, but it allows us to kind of have this swooping loop down where you can collect people up. So at the minute, this is only really being used for intercity buses to come in. We might, you know what, I'm going to move this down to here as well. That will be a good shout as well. Yeah. Oh, maybe that can go here. Now, I want to save that for trains potentially in the future. I think that would be a kind of cool little thing to add in. So if I come up by 3 here, go across by 10, go across. Actually, I'll go across a little bit further up by 30. I want them to drive all the way around here, though. That's the whole purpose of it. If I move this then to here, at the very top of it, like that. Very good. So we don't need these power lines. They've each got their own little power source. We need our own power source over here. So we'll place in... Well, we would actually need to build a little bit of a car park, wouldn't we? So there's already people coming out, which is hilarious. So if I bring this right down to there, but it won't connect in. Why did you not connect in there? There we go. I'm not sure what's going on with this road anarchy stuff today. I haven't changed nothing, but something ain't right. So add this here, because this could be a car park, but I'm wondering how big or wide to go. Ooh, see, I could get away with that. If we just slightly move this. Do I put this right at the top? Let me reposition this. No, it's not going to work. Let me cancel that. We'll go with that. So we get a nice big beautiful car park here where people can park their cars before they go into their, like, you know, individual transport links and all that kind of jazz, which will be quite handy for us. Spin that around and then hopefully we can get things rocking and a-rolling. So place what I can in here. Down to there. If I go then by a 4. And then by a 3. Not really going to work. It's a bit awkward. I mean, I should have done it by a 2 by a 2. Spin that one round. That's what I should have done here. Destroy that structure. Let's start this one again. Beautiful! It's like it was meant to be. It's like it was meant to be. So then what I can do then in terms of power is I'll use for now, just for now because we've kind of slightly completely out of the way, use these solar panel car parking spots. Do one over here and one over here. Now, is that enough to, you know, power this whole area here? We're going to find out. So is that enough to kind of reach all the water over here? I believe it is. I think everyone's good with the power, which is fine. Yeah, should be good. Should be good. Like it. So yeah, this now becomes a hot commodity, this island, because this has now it's going to have control over a lot of transportation lines, thus making those toll booths make a lot of money. And whoever has control of those toll booths has control of the transport, has control of the power between goods from kingdoms to other. I'm telling you, this might be a small little island, but it's going to be a powerful island, guys. It's going to be a real powerful island right now. So we need to get some transport lines all hooked up then. So we'll start with boats then, and we'll go to the ferry pathway. So what we'll do then, we'll kind of do it in stages so we're not tripping over one another. So if I come out by 15 and then go down, and what we'll do, we'll have you connect to that, you connect to this, you connect to this. Then these guys here will come out by a 10 and go down. Where these will connect to this, these connect to this. So we have 2 lines, 2 ferry piers connected to it. Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll bring that like this, and then that can connect like that. So we kind of like shorten the distance a little bit more. And then we're going to get all the ferry lines, which at the minute there's quite a few peeps using them. There are quite a few peeps using them. We're going to delete them all. Okay? And we're going to start again. Delete and start all over again. I know it seems really painful. I know it's shock and horror. But this is for the greater good. All ferry lines must pass this way. So if I start with the furthest one away then, which is the Oil Town one. So from there, they will sail all the way up to their first stop on this side and travel back. Now you might be thinking this is counterintuitive. In a normal city that you wouldn't do this. This is not what you would normally build. But what I'm building right now is not normal. So welcome. Welcome to the new norm. All ferry lines must pass through the transport kingdom. They have spoken! This is how it works. This is how it goes. Which is going to be really, really interesting to see how it all plays out. So, keep getting in little stages right there. That's that one then done. And then that is pretty much all the ferry lines on this side. Do we have a ferry line over in... Oh, we do. We do. Okay, so grab you. All the way over. And there to there. So that's 4 ferry lines all set up. Sweet as Pete. So then, Veganville one. Take it all the way over here. Now, this is on a different line altogether. So that's how we can, you know, we can get, like, more ferries coming in that way. We're now on to this one. Which will go here. So technically I've got room now for 2 more ferry lines. But I think I've only got 1 more ferry section, which is this. So there's 1 more for somebody else. There is 1 more for somebody else. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me put you there. Have I just got that wrong? Which one does this one go into? That goes into... No, it is right. So, that's Oil Town, Fish Town. No, Oil Town, Falls Kingdom 1, Fish Town. That would then be Fredonia. Then we have Veganville, Oil Town 2, and then South Fall. Yeah, it does leave 1 more available. Okay, gotcha. Wow. Okay. So already, people are making their way to these ferry lines. And you're going to have a lot of people transporting over there because obviously the amount of people that come out of the transport island. Which kind of then opens up all these kingdoms to all of these tourists. All of a sudden, all these tourists can arrive in the kingdom from the what's it called, a transport? No, space elevator. And now they have this option to pretty much go to any kingdom they want by a simple ferry line. Yes, granted, right? We probably won't have enough ferries, but we can increase the number, which is hopefully going to slightly reduce the amount of vehicles heading out this way. Which I just turn the traffic lights off there because there's no need for them to be on right now. There we go. So this will take a while before it all comes into fruition. There's so many ferries now going to be hitting the scenes. So many freaking ferries, which is kind of crazy. And I believe... Where are these guys going? Where have they come from? I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Now, what I'm thinking of doing right now is building a canal that goes through this little section. So I can bring the ferry line down this way and cut in. So it creates a little bit more of a shorter distance and creates like a little unique point of view for this area. So I'm going to pause it. We'll get rid of that road just there. And then we're going to build a canal. So we'll go for a medium. So we'll go for a medium one. Just cut it straight through like this. Right? And then obviously the road. How do I now make my road There we go. Goes across like that. Ta-da! Now a canal already has that dedicated ferry line cutting through. So we'll just wait for the water to settle itself. I don't know whether that bump is a bit too much, whether I need to kind of flatten it out. I just don't know how the water's going to settle. So I'll give it a minute to figure itself out, and then we'll kind of sort it out ourselves. So let's try and fast forward as much as we can. Boats are already now making their approach. So a lot of them are going to have to play the waiting game. But eventually as time goes on, they will be all spread out. They will all be spread out. So water's having a whale of a time right now. I'm thinking at some point I'm going to have to reduce this because it's way too high. And you reduce you. There we go. I'm just not sure how high the water's going to be. But that should be okay. But that's quite cool though, to have a little canal that cuts through. Because now they have... This transport island is now getting more control over the water waves. So how that could work would be, in terms of the shipping lanes. So ferry pathway. I brought you to there. And connect you on. I think that's now connected, right? Bam. And just simply go straight up to here. I wonder... Straight away, that's changed the route of two of our ferry lines right now. Straight away, that has changed the route of two of our ferry lines. And that would be this one here. And obviously in South... Where's it gone? South Fall over here as well. That's what they would have been. So that's pretty good then. It'll be nice to see the boats going through. I think we'll smoothen the edges off a bit. So it doesn't look ridiculous. There we go. Beautiful. So like I said, it will take a while before this is all sorted though. But yeah, we're going to have peeps for days waiting to go places. And eventually we'll start seeing buses tearing through this place as well. But this is going to be kind of crazy as all ferry traffic goes down this route to get to where they need to get to. Anybody waiting? Yeah. So if you wanted to go anywhere, you could literally go anywhere via a ferry. And I think that's a pretty cool little thing, isn't it? I think that's pretty cool. I like it. I like the idea of that. Weirdly, I do. Weirdly, I do. So, that's beautiful. That sets us up for the future then. And eventually we'll have... I mean, I can actually do it now, doing bus routes being dedicated to transport over here. Like out-of-town buses, which I think will be quite a sweet little thing. We would have to bring them from each of the little hubs though, wouldn't we? So when we think about it like that, right, we have a hub just there. We have a hub just over here. We have on this island a hub there. Do we have one over here? We don't have one in Fishtown. We don't have one in Fredonia, but there's not too many kingdoms I can actually connect via a bus anyway. So if I went for the buses, and let's say I start with a bus line here. So that first one there would go, let's say, to the closest one here. And I'll kind of get to connect just there. And then head back. Complete the line. The next one would go to this one over here. And I'll just pick a random spot like there. And then head back. Then the next one would go away out over here. So it's not just ferry lines that you can kind of hit up. You can hit them up perfectly on the bus routes as well. Complete the line. Now we don't have one for Fishtown. So I think for now in Fishtown, I'm just going to set up a random... Actually, we can kind of utilize it to being like a normal bus route. So I could pull it into here. Have a stop there. Go across... Oh, wait. Oh, wait. It won't go through this tunnel. So does that tunnel not work? Hold on. Oh, I'm sneezing over tunnels. Have it stop there. It don't want to go through those. Do those tunnels not work? Or is it the speed that's not the best? But have it stop there as well. So I'm also utilizing that bus route as a more localized bus route for these guys. What's going on with these tunnels? Now let me check out the speed. So it's 40 versus 90. If I make those a 90 as well. So the speed limit is pretty much the same. But it won't... Or it's not allowing the bus routes to update to go down that way. I wonder why that is then. We don't have any lane connectors on this to say to go to a certain way, do we? No. Oh, I'm starting to see more vehicles now drive down that. Or is that just me? Right. National Road. So I actually can't... I mean, because of this Fine Anarchy Road thing's now changed. Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't upgrade it to what I once known it to be. Unless I go underground this way. Yeah, that's better. But what do you mean to do, you? I'm upgraded all the wrong roads right now. So this little bit here is not underground. So if I delete them back. And... Is that... Nope. Nope. This is now me trying to do this. While remaining underground. Did that work? I mean, the levels are ridiculous, to say the least. Okay, it's worked on that one side. Despite, okay, so I didn't do anything apart from upgrading the speed limit. I just realised as well, I upgraded this bit here, didn't I? Let me come back out of underground mode. There we go. Aha, there we go. So, it was all down to the speed limit, nothing else. The speed limit is what was slowing the buses down. And all other vehicles, to be honest with you. So that kind of allows more vehicles to flow through. Well, that's good stuff. But the main point was to create these additional buses coming down here. There's lots of them. Eventually they will be dispersed as time goes on. But allows us to now have this big interchange for ferries. And it allows us to have this big interchange for buses. So it'll be interesting to see how it all ticks along. Very interesting. Very interesting. Can't really see much right now, but it'll be kind of cool to see. Like 239 passengers already. Oh, I didn't realise that was a slope going up. That's kind of cool to see. Very good. Very, very good. Maybe a bit of commercial dropping down. So I could create little shopping areas around here right now. To like really maximise the abundancy of people around this area. So I can go up to there to cut that in. And then create something like that. Does that look a little bit weird? Where I drop down commercial. Because obviously we now have it, like we can now create a little shopping district. I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. I might as well fill this up as well until I eventually do build like a train station or whatever over here. But having commercial here with all these little tourists around kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It really, really does make a little bit of sense. Now, is having buses taken away from the tourists using the ferry lines? I don't think it would, because you approach in different ways. By having the buses, as time now passed on, more spread out, it's become quite a unique place. So it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. Now, is this having those additional tunnels? It's helped out for the flow of traffic for everybody. So I think it's just been a huge benefit. Not everyone's now focused on going for that middle tunnel. There's something going on just there, but I'm not sure what's going on with that. So that anarchy seems weird. Seems sus. Something's going down. Something's going down. So now's a little bit of time has now passed by. Right. This is like the main section here where we have the people. Well, I wouldn't say the people, but like, you know, the guests, the visitors. So I go by a 15 there. And up by 7. Right, bear with me. And wherever I can, bam, bam. It's definitely different, isn't it? This. But I'll pause, delete that. And we'll bring this... I mean, I don't know if it needs to be a 4-lane road. Well, if I just upgrade it to a national road. Right. And then bring it down by 20. 15. 15. Bend it down this way instead. Worst case scenario, I drop a little bit of a roundabout on this. But this is where we're going to slowly start creating the residential area for our transport island. So I'm going to take these as far as I want to take them. And then we'll tear in this way as well. Nice little patch. Do some trees like we did over here as a little sound barrier. Great stuff. I feel like this could be misconstrued, and this is really ultimately going to put too much pressure on it, because that's where the majority of the traffic is going to want to head. So in reality, if I upgraded all this to being a national road, vehicles will be skedaddling so much quicker through this area. But then we also need to kind of create a point where we can access this area as well. So I think it will be something as mundane as this. You know what I mean? And then on this little section, maybe I change it to like that. Not that. Not that. Let me go for the 3-laners. So you've got the dedicated turning lanes to come in. So you're not tripping over one another too much. And maybe extend that to here. So as you're approaching this area, you've got a little slip road to run in. There's plenty of space to go ahead and do it. Right, bringing that down. There we go. A little bit of residential, because obviously you want a few peeps living here. I will turn those into little cul-de-sacs on the very end. Right, if I just get all this residential, not all of it, I'll kill off this little section. And we'll do a bit of commercial here. Do a bit of commercial just there. I'll treat this whole little section here commercial. There we go. And we'll do a last little bit just here. So we will need power for this area. And for now, we'll just stick down to wind turbines. Becoming very, very self-sufficient in many ways. And we'll let that just kind of build up naturally too. So our little transport island is slowly coming together. And as more and more time goes on, the more and more spaced out our little ferry lines will be. Which is good to see. But I have a slight inclination that maybe the buses have stolen the ferry's thunder. Not enough workers. Don't worry. There will be people soon nearby that will move in. It will be glorious. Glorious. Everything's running along smoothly, isn't it? Now, I know we talked about sorting this area because I really kind of messed it up. But it seems to be running smoothly at the moment. I mean, there's a few little issues here and there. But smoothly. It'd be too smooth, if you ask me. Too smooth! But it's all okay. It's all okay. It's quite a high industrial area anyway. Right. Still nobody wants to live here. On the bumpiness. And we still got... whoa, okay. Are we got a traffic jam underneath? Oh, this is the annoying thing. I can't see underneath. So the jam comes from people leading out and then changing lanes up on this point, doesn't it? They kind of get backed up and slowed down and a little bit confused of where they need to lead to. So what if I upgraded that road? I don't think we have like a 3x3, do we? I don't think we have such a road. I mean, I could utilize these roads. They're way bigger than I need them to be. So let me pause. Let me just do this. Do you know what? I don't think we need it to be like that. So yes, everyone now slows down here, but if it's a 90 speed limit road. And then junction restrictions, they can all flow through it. Like that. When it comes to lane... Oh, is there traffic lights on it? Yep. Traffic lights here? Yep. Get rid of them. So obviously when it comes to the lane management, we hit them like this. So everyone's like fixated. Everyone knows what they're doing. I know we're kind of merging these two into this, but there's plenty of room to them sort themselves out. I'm just hoping it kind of like with the split roads, making them a 3 lane at that point, kind of aids the flow a bit more. I mean, I could upgrade that to a 3. Hold on. You got 2. Let's say turn it to 4 lane road. I'm making it more confusing than it kind of initially needs to be. But I'm hoping it kind of can flow the traffic through, because I think one of the biggest issues that we're kind of facing when they turn on, it kind of backed them up, which kind of caused backlogs further down the road. But they're all slowly now pushing through. Hopefully you can keep it all moving then. Hopefully. They just seem to like break, and they seem to brake check everybody and they all get messed up. But hopefully you can keep pushing it through. I would have caused a little backlog myself there, so that would have backed up a bit more. But yeah, like I said, hopefully we can keep pushing it all through. They should be super speedy. But like, give them some time. It's all clear anyway to kind of come through it no matter what. I just want to get to this area and then realise, oh snap, we kind of need to sort out like what lanes we're in. Is when it really throws them all off. But it's not a big issue. If this whole island here becomes gridlocked, then we've got an issue. But we should be okay for now. Right, everyone's got water there. These are requesting not enough workers, but the workers should be there fairly soon. So do not worry, sir. Do not worry. The bus terminals have really stolen all the travellers, the tourists, the commuters from the ferry line. But let's see how they're doing in terms of the public transport right now. So Ferry Lines 210. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. Where's this one going from? So this one's coming all the way from Southall. So the reason it says that there's nobody using it, I think is because it takes so long for a ferry line to get to and from. It just instantly classes it as nobody's using it. I think that's the issue on that. Yeah, now people are using it. So people are using them. The bus routes, these new ones that we've just implemented, a lot of people using them. So that's interesting. It just kind of pushes everybody around and gets them through. Yeah. Right. I think I've got to sort something out here, haven't I? We kind of need to sort it out. So what I'm going to do is... if I fixate them lanes like that, and I'm only given this option here for them to change what lane they need to be in, is it then just pushing the issue from here to over here? Is that what I'm then doing? Or would I rather have the issue happen on this junction so they can switch on through to where they need to get to? I think with the sheer amount of vehicles passing through, you're just never really going to win. But what if I say, or do it like that, where you got to be sorted out before you even get to this region? It then does mean that everybody going through this roundabout, or everyone coming off here, is going to have to hit the roundabout up, which is slightly going to throw them off. But if I also incorporate that there, I wonder if people who are trying to go straight on will also include themselves a lot earlier. I am really messing this up a whole lot more. Don't get me wrong. It's not ideal because you're going to have some peeps coming down these lanes that want to turn off in certain ways. You've got people joining on here that want to flip over to other ways. So it's counterintuitive for a lot of vehicles. And then when you get all these vehicles coming in, it completely messes everybody up. So it's quite hard to have a bulk of traffic coming out there and a bulk of traffic coming in this way, because you're ultimately going to get things highly screwed up. But that backlog has reduced us slightly. So I don't know whether this is a way to do it. Maybe not make them do it there so much. So at least then we can have these vehicles flowing through. And on this one, maybe make them also pass over that way. So we're crisscrossing at the best of times. We're giving them that ability to do so. So just allow a few more vehicles to pass through. And then to start moving again. It's very unorthodox. You would never normally do this. But we got to somehow get the vehicles pushing through none the least. So I don't really want to do this, because it only really then pushes the issue to another junction. But at least get some more movement from that point. And hopefully we can see more vehicles pushing through here. Who knows? I could have just made it 10 times worse. But I think we're going to end it for today anyway, guys. I don't want to focus on that road too much, because the transport kingdom is the one for the future. It's interesting. It's really interesting, isn't it? We'll let more time pass by before we truly take a look at the lines and links that we've now created. And even if I did incorporate trains, if I did incorporate the metro line to the transport kingdom, It will take away from some of the other lines, don't get me wrong. So we need to make sure that those subway lines, those train lines go to areas that the current buses and the ferry lines don't go, as a way to incorporate and kind of complement the lines rather than take away from them. But for now, guys, we're going to end it for here. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.